Shinzo Abe was born on September 21, 1954 in Tokyo, Japan. Abe's father, Shintaro Abe, was a foreign minister. Following his father's death in 1991, Abe ran for and won his seat in the Diet in 1993. After World War II, Abe's maternal grandfather, Nobusuke Kishi, who'd worked as an industrial planner in Japanese-occupied Manchuria in the 1930s, was arrested as a Class A war criminal. He was not indicted, and his anti-communist views helped secure his release in 1948. Kishi served as prime minister from 1957 to 1960. Like Abe, he wanted to alter the pacifist Article 9 in Japan's constitution. After receiving his political science degree at Tokyo's Seikei University in 1977, Abe matriculated to the University of Southern California in Los Angeles to further his political studies. Since 1987, Abe has been married to Aki Matsuzaki Abe, who has worked as a radio DJ and operates an izakaya, a Japanese pub-style restaurant in Tokyo. Aki has talked about unsuccessfully undergoing infertility treatments during their marriage. The couple decided not to adopt and have no children. In September 2006, Abe became Prime Minister of Japan. Japan has a parliamentary system in which the Prime Minister is usually the leader of the party with the most seats in the lower house of the Diet, the country's legislative body. Abe's party, the Liberal Democratic Party, has held power for all but a few years since its founding in 1955. Abe was the country's youngest prime minister since World War II, and the first to be born after the war. He'd been a member of the legislature since 1993, though he'd only joined the cabinet in 2005. Abe resigned as prime minister in September 2007, citing poor health. In September 2012, Abe made a comeback as head of the LDP, and after the LDP succeeded at the ballot box, began his second term as prime minister on December 26, 2012. In 2014 and 2017, Abe called for snap elections. The wins solidified his control and showed support for his program of economic renewal. In 2017, the LDP changed its rules to allow its leader to serve 3 terms instead of 2, so Abe could run for a 3rd term as head of the LDP in September 2018. If he holds onto this leadership role, Abe could remain at the head of the government through 2021, making him Japan's longest-serving prime minister, particularly notable given that others often only last for a couple of years. But ongoing scandals and sinking approval ratings may result in a challenge to Abe's leadership. or even another resignation. Abe is a conservative who believes in increasing Japan's ability to defend itself, a goal shared by his maternal grandfather, who also served as one of Japan's prime ministers. However, the priority for Abe's second term has been rebuilding Japan's troubled economy. Ill health was the reason given for Abe's abrupt resignation from his first term as prime minister. He later revealed that he suffers from ulcerative colitis, a chronic inflammatory bowel disease he dealt with since middle school, but which apparently worsened as he led the country. Abe has attributed the recovery that allowed him to re-enter politics to the drug Asacol. In August 2020, Abe announced his resignation, citing health reasons. Even though there is 1 year to go in my tenure and there are challenges to be met, I have decided to stand down as prime minister, he said at a press conference in Tokyo. On 8th July 2022 at 11:30 JST, UTC+9, Shinzo Abe was shot twice while delivering a campaign speech in Nara. The assassin used a homemade musket-style firearm which fired 2 shots, the first striking Abe in the neck and the second striking him fatally in the heart. A 41-year-old man named Tetsuya Yamagami, a former Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force officer, was arrested following the shooting and later confessed to local police. Yamagami stated that he held a grudge against a particular religious group and shot Abe because he believed that the religious group and Abe were connected. Yamagami claimed that he didn't have a grudge against Abe's political beliefs. Abe was rushed to the Nara Medical University Hospital in Kashihara, where he was later pronounced dead at 17:03 JST. Prior to his arrival at the hospital, Abe had already shown no vital signs. Despite a transfusion of 100 units of blood, the blood loss was too great and attempts to resuscitate Abe failed. He was 67.